Thank you guys for hopping on tonight's team call. Tonight is Tuesday, December 13th. I'm so proud of myself because I knew what date it was before hopping on the team call. Usually I'm like stammering and I have no idea what day it is, but tonight's Tuesday and the 13th. And I can't believe there's like 3 weeks, not even 3 weeks till Christmas and the New Year. It's boggling my mind. If you guys are moms, I'm sure your children are counting down the days till Christmas like mine is. Hey, Mom, do you know there's 8 days of school left? Hey, Mom, do you know this? And I'm like, oh my God, child, where do I put you so I could do some grocery or Christmas shopping? It's driving me crazy. So actually, this is a perfect time of year to talk about the topic that was requested by some of my coaches tonight. And tonight we're going to talk about managing time management, how to manage your time to be successful. So whether or not you are a brand new coach or you've been a coach for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, this is something that I'm sure everyone of you has struggled with, right? I remember first becoming a Beachbody coach and I thought I needed to have my phone on me at all times of the day. I had to be at everyone's beck and call, right? And then there was family, and then there was household chores, and then there was my job, and then there was this, and this, and I felt like I was stressing myself out. I was working all day, and I wasn't being productive. Well, there came a time where I failed doing a lot of things, and I learned along the way what works and what doesn't work. And honestly, having my phone by my side the whole time was not successful. Having my phone by my hip the whole day was not making me productive. It was making me busy, but not productive. So first things first, I'm sure a lot of you guys have Pinterest or social media where you've seen this quote posted everywhere. If it's important to you, you will find a way. If not, you will find an excuse. Okay? Listen to this. So a lot of coaches sign up, or a lot of challengers even sign up, and they can't find time to work out. They can't find time to work their business. They can't find time to post on social media, send out invites, read their personal development, right? They can't find time. Now let me ask you this. Think about the things important to you in your life. You make time to do them, right? Like brushing your teeth. Who is that important to? Everybody on here, I'm hoping? I got Teresa, my dentist lady over here. She's like, everybody better be raising their hand. Okay, what about eating? That's important to everybody, right? You make time to eat. What about going to the bathroom? These are important things in your day-to-day basis that you do every single day. I hope you're doing all 3 of these things every single day that you make time to do, right? Now I have a question for you, and I want you guys to be honest. How many of you guys play video games or games on your cell phones? Maybe every day, every other day? Okay. What about watch TV? What about unnecessary errands? Like going to the store to grab snacks, or going to do this, or going to meet up with a friend that you haven't seen in a long time and it's during your business hours, or going to buy a new pair of shoes even though you have a closet full of shoes, right? These are unimportant things that we also make time for, right? Every night I'm going to watch my show. I'm going to get on the show. My kid's going to go to bed. I'm going to binge watch Parenthood, Gilmore Girls, whatever people watch, right? You make time for that. But then the next day you're like, I couldn't find time yesterday to work out. I couldn't find time yesterday to read my personal development. But yet you stay up until 10, 11 o'clock at night watching your favorite TV show. All that is you need to adjust your priorities. Adjust what is important to you. Hopefully, a lot of us have created a vision board or a life statement plan, a dream, a vision of where we want to go, of where we're headed, right? So I want you guys to really think about the tasks that you do every single day. Dude, I'm like totally staring at Christine's bum right now. I want you guys look at your day-to-day tasks that you do every day and see how many of those do not align with your vision plan. How many of the things that you do on a daily basis don't align with where you want to be in 5 years, where you want to be next year, where you want to be next month? I bet you guys can find a whole hell of a lot of time that you can spare if you gave up one or two of those things a day, right? I have a homework assignment for you guys. I'm going to bring it up right now, so write it down. I want you guys to write out your priorities. What are your priorities when it comes to where you want to be in 5 years? We're looking at the big picture here, 5 years from now. What are your priorities? What are your non-negotiables? And I want them to be listed in 3 categories. You. So what are your priorities for yourself? Personal development, meditation, prayer, working out, Shakeology, nutrition, meal planning. What are the things that are your priority? Your life. Maybe you have a career. Maybe you're starting your own business. Maybe you're a mom. Maybe you own a house. You have household chores and work and errands and dishes, and you have pets or whatever. What are the priorities in your life? Now I want you to write down, what are the priorities in your Beachbody business? What are the things that you need to do that you absolutely know, whether you do them or not, but you absolutely know that you need to do them to be successful as a coach? Write those down. That is your homework assignment. You don't need to turn it in. You could post it in the team page if you want. I challenge you to for extra accountability. But after you write these priorities down, I want you to just give an example of what your days are. What your days are like. When you wake up in the morning, what is it that you do? Do you fuss around? Do you sit around and watch the news for a little bit? Do you scroll Facebook before you even get out of bed for 30 minutes, 45 minutes? Do you hit snooze a plethora of times? What do you do when you get out of bed? You guys are going to, my thing is going crazy. You guys are going to, I hope there's no kids right here, but you're going to shit your pants. I found the other day, and Cindy probably remembers this. I was going through my notebooks the other day, and I had my very first schedule. When I first started working as an office manager at a mechanical installation company, my son has always been an early riser. 5:30 a.m. He'd wake up. Okay? I had a schedule, my Beachbody schedule. You guys want to know what time I used to wake up at? 3 o'clock in the morning. You guys are all looking at me like you're batshit crazy. Guess what? I wanted this so damn bad. That's what I was willing to do. I'm not saying that's what you have to do. I just knew that's how I was able to make time. From 3 to 4, I would do personal development, goals, and affirmations. From 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning, I would do my workout. And by 5 a.m. every single day, my workout was posted on social media. Every day. And I remember when my son, at the time, my son was in preschool. Then he went to kindergarten. I was still doing it. Then kindergarten came, and that summer came. And I stopped doing it because he wasn't waking up that early because I was letting him stay up late. So now I'm still in that habit of waking up 6:30, 7, not getting my workout until 10 o'clock in the morning sometimes. But I looked back at that schedule and I was like, holy crap. That's when I was like balls to the wall, apeshit crazy, okay? But I was successful and I was doing it and I was feeling good. Yes, I was going to bed at 8:30 at night. That's fine. I don't care. Nothing good happens after 8:30 at night anyways. Unless I start getting hangry and rummaging through the refrigerator, which does not do any good for my waistline anyway. So go to bed at 8:30, right? Now I'm just letting you guys know that that's what I had to do because I had an 8-hour-a-day job. I had a little child. At the time, I had a husband who I had to cook for, clean up after. You women know the drill, what we have to do with men, right? But my business, my personal wellness, my goals were a priority, and I was willing to do that. Granted, things have changed. And I'm also a full-time coach, so I don't have to wake up at, 3:00 in the morning anymore. So, now after you guys write out your priorities, I want you to create a flexible schedule. And when I say flexible, it means more along the lines of forgiving. Because how many of you have created a schedule, maybe a to-do list or a schedule just for one day, and you don't cross off everything on your list or you don't stick to your schedule? By the time you get to bed, you feel defeated. I didn't get through everything. Oh my God, I'm the worst. I'm not a good coach. I'm not a good mom. I'm not a good this. How many of you have done that? Because you haven't got to everything. So when I say a forgiving schedule, you have to realize you don't just have every time or every moment of the day to stick to your schedule. Stuff happens. Kids get sick. You have to run an emergency errand. You have to make an emergency phone call. Sometimes the internet goes out in your city. There's all these things that could come up that could keep you from sticking to your schedule. And so instead of at the end of the night feeling defeated and discouraged and then waking up in the morning and not giving it your all because you already feel like your own worst critic, be forgiving of yourself, but you have to create some sort of schedule, some sort of to-do list that could be your guideline on a daily basis. That could be your guideline on a weekly basis. So you know what you need to be doing that aligns with your priorities. That aligns with your 5-year plan. Otherwise, if you're just winging it, you have no idea what direction you're going in. And that's going to make you be busy all damn day. You're not going to be productive. You're not going to get stuff done. And most of the time, you're going to be half-assing things. When you create your forgiving or flexible schedule, you need to commit to it. How many of you guys have okay, that's it. This week, I'm going to create a schedule. You write down in your notebook or your calendar or whatever, you write down everything you're going to do. Then a girlfriend wants to meet up for coffee and you're like, oh yeah, we could do that right here. Oh yeah, I could push this back. Or someone wants to go shopping. Your husband needs a new pair of shoes. Oh, your kid needs the right brand of mac and cheese. Oh, save sweet baby Jesus. I got to go to the store now. That's happened to me. I'm being honest here. But how many times does that come up and you're like, okay, well, I know I need to be sitting here doing X, Y, and Z, but I'm just going to go do this real quick. How many of you have done that? Right. Because we're not committing to our schedule. We need to have the willpower, like survival mode. What I mean by survival mode is if you want something bad enough, you have to think about it being a non-negotiable. You actually have to do this. For me, I work my business every damn day because I'm not married. This is my full-time job. If I don't do this, I'm going to lose my home. I'm not going to be able to pay for groceries for my son and I. I'm not going to be able to pay bills. I'm going to be stuck on the street and hoping one of you are taking me in. I'm in survival mode. But you know what? I've wanted this since the day I signed up. And that's been my mentality every day since. So you need to commit to your schedule. You need to commit to your priorities like you are in survival mode. What do you have to give up if this does not work? Think about that. Think about the things that you have to lose if this doesn't work. And think about the things that you've gained since becoming a Beachbody coach. Whether you signed up yesterday, look, you've already made a handful of friends, right? Maybe you signed up last year. Maybe you have a great transformation. Maybe you're working on your transformation. Think about the things that you've gained that you can lose. And use that as a force to commit to your schedule. And focus. This is huge. When people sit down and how many of you guys do your power hour? Just out of curiosity. Okay, how many of you do your power hour every single day? Monday through Friday, we'll say. Jackie, Tracy, Cindy. Okay. Reese, you just signed up and you're doing it every day. Yes, good job, girlfriend. All right, that's your goal. Okay, that's a great goal to have. Here's the thing. When you guys do your power hour, Focus on one task at a time. One task. Chalene Johnson, I believe she's the one that said, Americans created this thing called multitasking. Basically, when you're multitasking, you're half-assing. There's no possible way you can do two things or more 100%. You can't. Can you be talking to your husband and messaging someone at the same exact time and giving them both 100%? Can you be listening to personal development and folding clothes? Both 100%. Yeah, I don't really care if my clothes are folded or if my towels are folded correctly. Right. But am I truly listening to what I'm listening to? Are you truly focused in that personal development? Are you truly focused in on this team call right now if you're scrolling Facebook? Ooh, I see a lot. Hands-free. You cannot focus on more than one thing and be productive and expect yourself to be productive. So focus one task on hand. And if you need to, set a timer for each task during your power hour. I suggest, and I've learned this from experience, you don't have to follow my suggestion. I used to use a timer on my phone. But then what would happen is I would get a notification on Instagram. Someone would text me. This would happen. Oh, Snapchat. Oh, all this stuff. And you would get sidetracked. So what did I do? I went to Amazon.com, bought a bomb timer to help me with my tasks at hand. When that timer goes off, I switch to the next task. And your power hour depends on your time. Maybe you work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and you can set specific power hours every single day. Write it in your schedule. Maybe your schedule is flexible. Maybe you have to adjust accordingly with your kids' schooling and when your husband goes to work and this, and this every single day. Your power hour doesn't have to be the same every single day. And you know what? You could even split up your power hour every day depending on your schedule. But what's most important is you need to focus one task at a time. No ands, it's ifs, buts about it. Otherwise, all you're going to be doing is busy work and you're not going to get anywhere. It's going to overwhelm you. It's going to frustrate you. You're going to feel defeated. You're not good enough. You're not a good enough coach. You're not getting anywhere. Your goal this month was to hit Success Club. You're nowhere near that. You can't recruit any coaches because you're half-assing all of it. So if you really think, like how many of you guys, let's be honest, how many of you guys in the middle of your workout, you answer text messages? Or have you ever answered a text message? Or recorded a video in the middle of your workout? Oh my gosh, that was me for the longest time. And I'm like, why am I not getting any progress? Why is it so hard for me to complete my workout after I record that video? Put your phone away during your workout. That's you time. That's time for you to focus on you. No ands, ifs, buts about it. Then when you're done with your workout and you're dying and you're sweaty and you can't move anymore, that's when you could go for round 2 and record a video. If you want, or take a sweaty selfie, whatever you do. Don't focus on more than one thing at a time. Now, I know a lot of you thought I was crazy when I said I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, I legit had no other way to do it. There's a million excuses that we have. There's a million excuses that every single one of us could say. Why we don't get our workouts in. Why we're not inviting every day. Why we're not posting on social media. Why we're not connecting with people. Why we're not checking in our challenge groups. This, and this, and this, and all this stuff. But I bet you there's 10 times more reasons why you should be doing those things. And you know what they are? You just write them down in your priorities. All those things you just written down, those are important to you, right? Would you let your kids go hungry? No. Would you let yourself be naked when you're walking down the street? No. I mean, maybe some of you are crazy like that. To each their own. Would you let your bills go unpaid and just say, forget it, I'm going partying this weekend or shopping or whatever? No. You wouldn't let any of those things go without because those are important to you. So why do you let other excuses block you from other things that you do? Time management is a huge like this huge obstacle in so many of our lives, as a coach, as a challenger, as a mom, as everything. But what it really boils down to, I can't give you the perfect schedule or the perfect time management layout for each and every one of you. Everyone's lives is different. Everyone has different priorities, non-negotiables, important things to them. All your 5-year plans are completely different from the next person. But what's really important and what's really going to help you with time management is your priorities. And taking out the things that you do on a daily basis that aren't important, that are not going to get you to where you want to be in 5 years, that are not going to get you to where you want to be next month. Am I right? If you want to lose a pant size this month and you know that you need to create a meal plan, you know you need to follow your workout schedule, you know you need to drink your Shakeology, are you going to spend the time that you should be devoting to your meal plan or meal prepping time to go to the movies and eat buttery popcorn? I mean, you can. Is that going to help you reach your goal? It's all about priorities. And I'm not saying don't have fun. I love to have fun and I need it for clarity and focus if it's a Star Wars movie. But I'm not saying don't have fun. Schedule your fun in your schedule too. I'm not kidding you. You guys think I'm crazy when I say that. Schedule your free time. Schedule your you time. Schedule friend time, family time, intimate time. Whatever time that's important to you, you schedule it. And you stick with it. You don't focus on more than one task on hand. Okay? And I promise you, all of you with unsupportive spouses or boyfriends right now, that's going to help change. Because when you're not sitting next to him on the couch with your phone in your face, watching a movie, he's going to appreciate it. Because I had that. How many coaches have had that happen and they feel like, I don't know why you're not supportive of my business. Because you're always on Facebook. You're always on your phone. I can never get you to look at my face when I'm talking to you. Because you're like this. Yeah, broccoli's fine. Sure. Yeah. Does that make you feel important? Of course, I would be unsupportive too. So here's the real nitty gritty, guys. Are you going to do what others won't do so you can do what others can't do later? Think about that. What you do now depends on where you want to go. Do you want to be able to have enough freedom in 5 years where you don't have to ask anybody to go on a vacation? Or you don't have to beg your boss to go surprise your children at school on their birthdays? Where you don't have to save up money for months and months and months to surprise your children or grandchildren at Disneyland? What are the things that you want to do for you and your family and your future? But your actions today are not aligning with that. Because you're doing all this unimportant stuff. Video games, Candy Crush, parenthood, unnecessary errands, getting your nails done, hair did, this, and this. You need to align your actions with your priorities. That's the truth about time management. That's where you get focused. That's where you see where you're lacking and where you can pick up at. I have a question for you, and I want you guys jot it in the chat box. Jot it in the chat box. That's kind of weird. What is one thing that you can think of today that was a task that you made sure that you did that was unimportant? Oh, that's sad that you missed your son's first Christmas concert today. Watching The Voice, Netflix, okay? Anybody else? It's just Crystal and Jackie. Crocheted part of a baby blanket. Picked up strawberry Shakeology and shaker cups. Watching Christmas movies. Scrolling social media. Played Disney emoji. Scrolling. Tinder. Oh, jeez. Pinterest. Okay. Which way did you swipe? Okay. Unless you're getting, I wouldn't even go for on Tinder to get challenge pecs and coaches, so don't do that. Playing stupid iPhone games, Netflix, okay, scrolling Instagram. Everything I did was stuff I needed to do, fun. I will do a puzzle later. Okay, social media. Okay, so for those of you, hung up more Christmas lights. Okay, so for those of you who have spent a big chunk on social media, you can actually turn that into a good thing. You could start sending CCQs, which are comments, compliments, and questions. So if you ever get stuck in that social media vortex where you see yourself scrolling, don't just scroll out of boredom. Be intentional with your scrolling, whether you're on Instagram or Facebook. You can send a comment, a compliment, or a question, and that helps you connect with people. Just a suggestion. I've had the mindset shift of using social media to benefit myself. Perfect. I worked and worked, didn't do anything fun today. Damn the man, Dana. Damn the man. Okay. All right. So I want you guys, let's see. Oh yeah, under a half an hour. Cindy's looking at me like, how the hell? All of you guys on Cindy's team, you know what I'm talking about, or that have been on here when Cindy's hosted. Or have you hosted team calls for an hour and a half or 2 hours and stuck around? I'm totally kidding with you. Okay, so this is your homework assignment. From now on, first off, I want you to do your priorities. You, your life, and your Beachbody business. And when under you, I want you think about the things that you would do regardless of if you were a coach or not. One day, if I stop being a coach, which is never going to happen, I will still do my personal development. I will still work out. I will still fuel my body with good nutrients. Those are the things that I'm going to do for myself. Okay? Think about you. Think about your life. What is your lifestyle like? What are your priorities in your lifestyle? Then 3, your Beachbody business. What are those priorities? What do you need to be doing to get to where you want to be in 5 years? After you write down your priorities, I want you to create a forgiving / flexible schedule. Okay? Do not feel defeated if something comes up. Do not feel defeated if you don't get to everything. And on your day-to-day basis, do the priorities first. If you feel like, okay, here's another question to ask you. How many of you guys have had a list so long of stuff to do on a day-to-day basis or on one day and you don't do anything because it's too overwhelming? This happens to me all the time. What do? I take a nap. I'm like, forget this. That list is way too long. I don't even know where to start. Forget that. And what happens? It just piles up and piles up and piles up. So what we need to do, whether a list has 2 things on it, 10 or 20, we need to pick the most important task at hand. Cross that off. After we're done, move to the next one. Then the next one. If we have time, go through all of it. If not, then the least important things didn't get done. But the most important things that align with your 5-year plan, they got done. So after you create a flexible schedule, flexible forgiving schedule, remember to focus 1 task at a time. 1 task. I suggest reading personal development when no one is awake. Okay? Because it's hard to do as a mom or a wife or a girlfriend or a grandma when someone's tugging on you, wanting you to make them toast. I need this, play My Little Ponies with me, all this stuff. It's really hard to focus. Do yourself a favor. If you're not a morning person, maybe read before you get out of bed. Maybe put your earbuds in before you actually get out of bed. The best time you could put personal development in your mind is right when you wake up in the morning. But it all depends on your schedule. Now think, and I want you to think after you create this, plug in your free time, plug in your playtime. If you want, if if you're able to put all your priorities on your list, you could plug in Candy Crush, you could plug in this game or this movie or this TV show too. I'm not saying you can never have fun again. That's not why we sign up as Beachbody coaches, especially with me. That'd be crazy. Plug in that time though. Set time every day that you can do the things that you do for fun. But remember, you want to be able to do things that others are not able to do. So what does that mean for you today and tomorrow and the next day? If this is important to you, if your health and fitness is important to you, if your Beachbody business is important to you, you will make it a priority. No ands, ifs, buts about it. Life happens. Shit hits the fan. Sales plummet. Things plummet. Trump is president. All this crap happens. Sorry to all of those of you. Anyways, we're just moving past that. So all this stuff happens, right? All this stuff happens and we have no control. But what we have control over are the things that we can control on a day-to-day basis. And that's what we need to focus on. Am I right? So moving forward, if something is important to you, make sure you don't just say it's important to you. Make sure your actions are aligned with your words. I'm sure you've heard a long time ago your parents told you, nah. Actions speak louder than words. I'll see it I'll believe it when I see it, right? We've all heard that. So make sure that your actions today align with where you want to be tomorrow. And then the next day. And then the next day. And then the next day. And don't compare your schedule to someone else's because like I said, everyone's schedule is different. Even if you both work 9 to 5, maybe one of you has 3 kids and the other one only has 1. Maybe one is a single parent. Maybe one has to work overtime. You cannot compare where you are at right now to where someone else is. End of story. So get that out of your mind right now. Okay? And most important, besides being focused at the task at hand, be forgiving. Forgive yourself. Let yourself off the hook sometimes. We are too hard on ourselves, and all that does is bring us down. And what we need to keep doing, we need to keep going higher and higher and further every day. And stop letting little things hold us back, or even big things hold us back. We're too good for that. You all deserve happiness. You all deserve the best life that life has to offer. And so many times we let little things hold us back. And we need to stop doing that. So create a schedule that works for you and your family and your lifestyle, that fits your priorities and will help you get to where you want to be in 5 years. I cannot do that for you. Cindy cannot do that for you. Teresa cannot do that for you. It's up to you to do that for yourself. Is that important to you? Yeah? Because if so, you will do it. Okay? So, that's that. You guys can answer any question. You guys can answer any questions you want. Ask any questions. Make your alarm early and do PD before you get up out of bed. Yes. Bury my head in the sand. Yes. Is that when you have a long list, Cindy? See, Lori, you got to think. Here's the thing. Lori said, my problem is I think about what others want and not what I need. So have you heard of that thing? You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you are completely drained, if you have given your all to everybody else, what do you have left for yourself? What happens in that moment where you have given and given and given and given, and you have absolutely no energy, no love, no nothing left? What's going to happen to all your loved ones that you've been giving to? They're not going to get anything from you anymore. The best thing that you can give to other people is the best version of you. End of story. Your grandkids want to see their energetic, fun grandma that does size all day long. Not all day long, but 30 minutes a day. They want to see that. They want to see the one that plays with them and laughs with them and read books with them, right? But if you're tired and you're lethargic and you're grumpy and impatient, What are you giving to your family? Because you're not taking care of you, because you feel guilty. But wouldn't you feel more guilty if you were impatient and short-tempered and didn't have the energy to keep up with the kids? Make you a priority and your family will thank you. Everyone. All right. Oh, thank you, Jen. Jen wrote the homework down. Yes, no more plan B. There is never a plan B. No more settling. I just saw a gel cell for cell phones and it has a timer if you don't open it in time. If I don't open it until the time is up. Oh, that's cool. And another thing to help you guys with time management is shut off notifications on all your apps. Oh, Brittany, I wish the reason I woke up at 3:30 in the morning was for BB. I'm telling you, damn the man. Tracy wakes up at 4:30. Awesome, awesome. Dana does too. It sucks. It does suck. And especially if you are not used to it. I have to congratulate, where's Chelsea? Chelsea's on here? Where is she? Chelsea is not a morning person, and this girl has been getting up recently and doing her workouts in the morning. I'm very proud of you because I know if anyone has ever done that before, not a morning person or not getting up early and jumping right into their workout, we all know how hard it is, right? But just like anything, it takes time. It takes consistency. It takes you having the willpower and making it a priority. And you know what? You can always grow into a morning person. I used to call myself a Pop-Tart and can't now. A Pop-Tart for waking up in the morning? I drink anything energized before anything else. Wake up, walk into the kitchen. Well, that's good. There you go. All right. So does anyone have any questions that wants to unmute themselves and not be shy? I don't think there's enough coffee to make me a morning person. Oh, geez, Lori. Okay. All right. So I have a question for you. Who is going to do the homework assignment and make a list of your priorities? Okay. Good. Who is going to create their forgiving and flexible schedule from here on out? Most importantly, who's going to stick to it? I challenge you guys, if any of you guys live with someone else other than yourself, I challenge you to ask them, whether it's children, adults, ask them. I'm going to start this. Maybe you're going to start it tomorrow. Maybe you're going to wait until next Monday. But ask them if they can see a difference in the way you act, your energy, your productivity, and how you are around them after sticking to the schedule. And I want to see what they say. Because oftentimes we know that we're short-tempered, right? We know that we're impatient. If we're frantic and I have 7 people to ask, that's cool. Just go with the average. But we know that we get a little impatient and short-tempered and frantic and chaotic and stuff if we have so much going on and we're just half-assing everything, right? And who gets the blunt of that? The people that we love the most. So I challenge you to ask them. I'm changing my schedule starting tomorrow or starting on Monday. And in 1 week, I want to know what has changed. What have you noticed? Yes, of course, Cindy. Speak.
Well, I didn't know if I was allowed because, this Zoom's run like 40 minutes now. So I was like, Mom, what's going to happen? So I just wanted to kind of add on to the thing about the schedule thing. Like I'm pretty much like a fly by the seat of your pants person and kind of like ADD squirrel type personality. And for me, like writing down a schedule was always really, I felt that it was really restricting. Like I was like afraid to actually do a schedule because I thought it was just too limiting and I didn't want to make my entire life regimented, especially when someone suggested to me that I even schedule in not just work time, but like Vicki said, family time, intimate time even. I mean, if you're married, I'm married, I have 3 kids, like, you know, it can be hard sometimes for that stuff to happen. So it's not like we're spontaneous 18-year-olds anymore. And, you know, so, but when I started doing a schedule for myself and really scheduling out my day, it was like amazing. It was like, you know, before I had always been like, you know, I'd constantly say to my husband, Nick, I'd be like, oh my God, there's just not enough time. There's not enough time to do it. I have all this stuff to do. And I was always stressed. I always had this like huge ball of stress that was like a cloud of stress that was following me all the time. And then when I started scheduling my life and really kind of making it more regimented and like time, I used a lot of time blocking in my life. So I do that where I block out my time by segments. Like Vicki said, I do make it a priority to like stick to what I'm doing, because I totally agree that multitasking is a myth. There is no such thing. And if you really think you're a really good multitasker, you're lying to yourself. Like that's basically like what I think about that. But so I would constantly be doing that and then finding that I was just not getting things done. And then when I started time blocking and really being regimented with my schedule, I was like, holy crap, I can get things done in an hour that used to take me 3 hours, right? Because I was so distracted by life. And so for those of you that are super busy, that are like a little paranoid and stressed, thinking that making a regimented schedule like that is going to not work for you because your life is just too busy, I really, really challenge you to take Vicki's homework seriously and really do it and try to put it into action. And yes, be forgiving, give yourself grace, because Lord knows I do not write my schedule. For me, I was actually just writing it a little bit. I actually use this planner. I don't know if some of you guys maybe use it. It's from Amazon. It's from a company called Tools for Wisdom, but it's awesome because it's actually more of a goal planner type thing, but it has a full schedule that's half an hour increments, right? And so I write it in pencil every day. I try to pre-plan my days ahead of time in pencil because, you know, like I said, I have 3 kids and 2 businesses and life happens, right? And so things change, but it really has helped. So yeah, so if you're feeling that fear, I just wanted to say that because I know some of the coaches on my team sometimes get a little nervous about actually putting it down on paper, right? Because you do think that you have to commit to it, and being flexible, I think, is really the key for that, and being able to forgive yourself and know that it doesn't have to be perfect for it to be productive, you know, just as long as you keep going and continue and try to be as consistent as possible and improve upon it each week. So that's all I just wanted to just kind of give my 2 cents about the fear of that, because sometimes people can be afraid of that.
Yes. Thank you so much, Cindy, for sharing that.
Oh, hold on. Yeah. So this planner is from a company called Tools for Wisdom. Let's see. That's it. Tools for Wisdom planner. Like I can actually post a link for it in the big team page, but it's awesome because it isn't just a planner. It's really funny because Vicki was talking about the priorities, but each month it has you talk about your essential goals for each month, your biggest goal, why you want to achieve that goal, and how you're going to achieve it. And then each day is broken up. Can you guys see it? Kind of. Well, right here you see, though, these little boxes. So here's like the hours that are by half an hour increments. And down here are actually boxes for your main 3 priorities for the day, your secondary priorities and other priorities, and notes and ideas for each day. So
thanks, Brittany.
You 3 priorities that are your main focus. So like kind of that to-do list where you were saying, okay, what are the 3 things for this day that I need to achieve? You know, like for me, I'm doing, someone posted the link.
Yeah, Brittany showed the link.
Yeah, that's it. But this is the 3rd year I've used this planner, and it's freaking amazing. I mean, I use my phone a lot too. I mean, I use my phone mostly for timers and appointments and scheduling, like my coach calls and things like that. But so I use my Google Calendar for that. And then you know how you were saying you have alarms on your phone. I mean, Nick and I had lunch today I was like showing him my like 10 alarms that I have for my morning, even my alarms to say for me to go to the next task, right? Like, so in the morning when I get up and I do my meditation, my personal development first thing. And then I have an alarm that says, take pre-workout, turn on Xbox, I have another alarm that says, go work out. 10 minutes later, another alarm that says, go do this, so it kind of keeps me going through the day. But, it works. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but it works. So.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Angie said that she wanted to share something. Ange?
Okay, so I'm not like trying to make excuses, but so I have my kids only 50% of the time. And when I have them, it's like Beachbody almost isn't even there. Like, it is there. Like, I still do my workouts and I eat healthy and I do my shakes and everything, but it's the business part, like, sending out invites or connecting with new people, adding new people onto my social media. Because, well, first of all, I already get up at 4:30 in the morning, and that's just to work out. And then we live about 45 minutes away from where I have to drop them off at school at and where I work. And then by the time we get home, it's already 6:30. I still have to make dinner, give them a bath. They go to bed between 8:30, and like I literally don't sit down till 8 o'clock, and that's to watch one of their cartoons so we can have like our cuddle time. Sorry, I'm still a little emotional for missing one of their Christmas concerts today. So by the time I get them ready for bed, I'm like so exhausted. Like, I want to, like, I really do, but I'm so tired. And then like they wake up in the middle of the night still, and they come in with me, and then it's just like a cycle over and over. Like, I mean, I do it by myself, I don't have anybody here to help me, like, to take their attention away or to give me a little bit of a break. They rarely take a nap anymore. So it's like, I don't get my time. And I mean, I just don't know. Like, I'm hoping that writing this schedule and making it like a non-negotiable, like, okay, they go to bed at 8:30. You can stay up for like 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour if you're lucky, to like at least send out 10 messages to people or something. I don't know. But after today and after I missed my kid's concert, yes, I know he's going to have more, and it's probably really stupid, but it was the first one and they're right down the road from where I work. It seriously like made me want this so much more. Yeah.
Angie, that's not stupid at all. That is not stupid. And for you to realize how important something like that was, it's not stupid. And I'm sure that your kids don't think it's stupid. No other mom, we all have felt that in some way, shape, or form. Every single mom has felt that. So use that as your driving force, your motivation at nighttime after your kids go to bed, that you never want to miss another thing of your kids again. That will help keep you up 45 minutes or an hour long at night. And I understand the single mom struggle. I understand what it's like when your kid wakes up in the middle of the night and wants to crawl in bed with you. I understand that. I'm sure a lot of moms on here understand that. You're not alone, babe. And don't ever think something like that is stupid.
I'm hoping that like writing this schedule out and like sticking to it for the week is going to get me in the routine of doing it. I really like that idea. I already have to split my power hour up because I can't do it. I mean, I can't. I probably could be crazy like you and get up at 3:30 in the morning, but that's really early.
Yeah.
I don't know. And like, I wanted to go to their dentist appointment yesterday, and their dad didn't even like say, oh, their dentist appointment is tomorrow. Like, I had no idea. I don't know what goes on when anyway, that's a whole other subject. Sorry. It's just like stuff like that I want to be a part of. That's like a dentist appointment. I mean, who wants to be a part of that?
Right.
I do.
Right.
So,
yeah. Sydney said she has a lot of coaches that do their power hours in the cracks, like early in the morning, because they literally have 0 hours to actually sit down. Yeah. I do the same thing. And like I told you guys before, I used to wake up that early to do the things that I needed to do. But babe, I want to give you a big hug right now. It sucks. There's nothing that's going, there's nothing that's going to fill that up, but just know that you are determined to never have that happen again. And we love you.
Thank you. Love you too.
Oh, little tiny down times. Little tiny down. What? No, I mean like in the little tiny down. Little what? Why is that so hard for me to understand?
Okay. No, I have a lot of coaches that are the same way, that have a very similar schedule, that are just booked to the max, right? People getting master's degrees, 4 kids, I mean, just crazy, working full time. So they literally, I mean, a lot of their stuff is done. We use Teamsy. A lot of coaches use Teamsy on our team, and that kind of allows you to track what you're doing in your power hour on the go. And so, they use it like when they're waiting in a doctor's office, or like the cracks of the day. That's what I meant. Like it's going through the cracks of the day, even because they're like you, they don't have time for, just sitting down for a focused hour, or 2 hours or whatever they're going to do. So, that they kind of keep it going in a very systematic way, kind of a checklist of, even though it is in the cracks of the day, they kind of keep it in a flow thing, as far as like, okay, I'm going to send out this many messages first, and, they don't move on to the next task until they send out that many messages, or whatever it is that they're working on, that, even though that might be broken up throughout the day. So, that's kind of how some of my busier coaches kind of work there, are able to work it in. But
yeah, and there's no harm in splitting up your power hour when you're able to, because as long as you're focused and you're getting the stuff done, that's all that matters. You don't have to designate one specific hour every day. It could be 15 minutes here, half an hour here, 10 minutes here, whatever works with your schedule, because not everyone has the same flexibility. Not everyone has the same structure and schedule. Some days vary, some weeks vary, and it depends on when you have your kids and things like that. So I would definitely try doing that out.
I have something to say.
Yeah.
So I don't do a focused power hour ever unless we do it like on our Zooms, because I work a ton, but I do my invites, and I do those things like, I don't know, stay on the train or whatever, or if I get home, I usually do it like I'm beat, like I want to just pass out, but I'll get in bed, I'll get comfortable, and I'll just do it on my phone, like invites. But as far as like the way I look at it, I don't beat myself up for not getting all the daily tasks in, as long as I'm getting tasks in, because I know eventually it's going to come around and I'll be able to sit down and do those power hours like everybody else, or 2 hours. And the days that I can, I try to fit it in. But I guess I just say all that to say, don't beat yourself up if you can't get it like how it would be ideal to do, as long as you're doing something. Because if you're doing something, at least you're progressing, and you're not just sitting on your ass and be like, oh shit, I don't have an hour, so I guess today's done. Can't do it.
Right.
So you can just get it in when you can, little bits and pieces. I think that's better than nothing. So.
Agreed. Thank you, T.
Sure.
Now I'm going to call you out every time you're on Tinder. Did you do your 35 minutes of inviting today? Just kidding.
I'm done with Tinder.
All right, ladies. Well, if no one else has any more questions, I will stop the recording and we can go ahead and take your selfie. No more questions? Apparently not, because everyone's